Okay, scholars, so this is lesson 3. So at this point, you should be pretty good at going back to the text and providing evidence for your answers. So today is going to be your time to show Miss Esther that you know and understand this part of reading a nonfiction text. Okay, so just review real quick. So the last couple of days, we've been talking about asking and answering questions. So at the end of this, you should be able to say, I can ask and answer questions while reading a nonfiction text. So remember, informational or nonfiction means that we are learning about a topic and that it is true. Okay, so we are asking ourselves questions while we read, and then we're going back to the text to actually look for those. We've also talked about how those questions can be thin questions or thick questions. So thin questions means they're very easy. They're right there answers. The thick questions are what we would call our think and search. And so I love how this says this. These are questions that I really have to use my brain and look deep in the text. So they're not going to be those easy peasy questions. We have to go back and look. So today we're going to read an article together about energy, okay? And we are going to do 2 questions together, and then you're going to be reading a story about a manatee, and you're going to be doing the same thing, okay? So let's read the story first, and then I'm going to pause to see if you get the answer right, okay? And then I'll show you the right answer, and then you're going to have a chance to try on the next slide. All right, so first things first, we always read our title. What's energy? So I know in this story, it's going to be telling me or giving me a definition of energy. So that's really important for me to understand my title, okay? And I love that there's a question mark there because it's basically saying, hey, what's energy? And now I'm going to find out. So the definition of energy is the ability to do work. Energy is everywhere. It's all around. Even if something is not moving, energy is still there. It's an object. If an object is at rest, it has potential energy. If an object is in motion, it has kinetic energy. Objects that are not moving may not look like they have energy, but they are full of energy. Energy is called potential energy because it's stored inside of the object waiting to be released. Something has to happen to the object in order for it to release its energy, such as human force or heat. The swing set shown below has swings that are not moving. That does not mean they don't have energy. The energy is just stored inside of it, waiting to be released. Once those swings are moving, the energy becomes kinetic. If objects are in motion, they have kinetic energy. The swings' energy will be released when humans sit on them and begin to swing. People, animals, plants, and objects can all have kinetic energy if they're in motion. Okay? So let's go to our first question. It says, where can energy be found? Okay, so I think this would be considered a thin question because I believe it is right there. So I'm going to give you a second and see if you can find it. Where can energy be found? So I want you to go back to the text and see if you can find it. I'll give you a hint. It's in the first paragraph. Did you say that energy is everywhere? Yeah. Okay, so it says, where can energy be found? I know it can be found everywhere. It says, underline the text evidence to explain. So did you find it right here? Energy is everywhere. It's all around us. So where can I find it? I can find it everywhere. Okay? All right, let's do another one. The second question is explain the energy of the swing. Now, guys, this is a thick question. You have to use your brain. So how can I explain the energy of a swing? Well, I know that it has energy. Okay, and it talks about potential and kinetic. I know we haven't really learned about those, but we can go back to the text and find that information. So can you go back and can you find a sentence or two that would be able to explain the energy of a swing? So I would say you need to look at the bottom of paragraph 2 and maybe a little bit of paragraph 3. Did you find this? The swing set shown below has swings that are not moving. That does not mean they don't have energy. The energy is just stored inside of it, waiting to be released. Once those swings are moving, the energy becomes kinetic. So that gives me the answer of being able to explain the energy. So again, this was a thick question. We had to use our brains. Okay? All right, next, in the Nearpod, you're going to get a story that's called The 1-Ton Sea Animal. The 1-Ton Sea Animal. You're going to be reading this by yourself. Okay, you're going to be reading this by yourself, and then you're going to be answering these 3 questions. How does a manatee move about the ocean? Where can manatees be found? And then number 3, identify 2 reasons why manatees are in danger. Okay, so you're going to be reading the story on your own, and then you're going to be answering these 3 questions by highlighting their answers in the story. Okay, can't wait to see how smart you are.